And that is where it's getting so bad right now in Nigeria. Incompetent people taking driver's seats simply because there is very little or no regard for competence. Provided he's my uncle, brother, relative, auntie, and this and that, we want to give them that opportunity to lead. Please, if you are in class tonight, it is very important that you learn not to practice that attitude. It's wrong. Don't give people opportunity because they are connected and related to you as against having competence. It's okay if they have competence and they are related to you, give it to them. But provided that they have zero or no competence in respect to that seat, and you want to put them on the driver's seat so that it will be said that you are helping your brother or your sister, no, that's wrong, right? That's wrong. So Lee Kuan Yew was able to ensure that that was not seen in the new Singapore that was being built. He also established rule of law. Rule of law is when you are strict and disciplined to the guiding regulations that govern a particular body. It is important I state here that if you don't understand or practice and embrace rule of law, you might never, ever emerge as a nation builder. I would want to stop here in my story. I would take us more deeper on how he was able to do all of this because it wasn't easy. That's the truth. The truth is that it wasn't easy. Are you pressing? Please, can I be heard? Can I still be heard?
Yes,
sir.
yes.
All right. So he was very, very firm with his decision to, build a new Nigeria. As a matter of fact, the founding father of Singapore and the founding father of Nigeria, they are friends. They are actually friends. Do you see that now? But a lot of things went down. But that's not my class tonight. I just want us to understand that building the nation within is where nation building begins. I'm going to say that again, and I would like to say that in one of our quotes. Building the nation within is where nation building begins. You can't begin building a nation without building the people. One of the things Singapore did, I can tell you Singapore's story for many, 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 many hours without getting tired. If you just want to understand the story, there is a book called From Third World to First. He was able to build Singapore from a third world nation to a first world nation in one generation. It has never been done. It has never been done. It has never been done in nation building, that a nation was built in one generation. It was just Lee Kuan Yew that had that success story. So it is possible to build Nigeria in one generation. But building Nigerians is much more important than building Nigeria. As a matter of fact, building Nigerians is the work. So let me say this. One of the things that was pivotal with his rule of law was like, let me give you one instance. They don't chew gums. Chewing gum is a contraband in Singapore. And why did he do that? Very simple. It was noticed that the budget for cleaning public areas were high, exceptionally high. And he was trying to find out, why do we need to spend this amount of money to clean airport, the different public areas? And they told him that it's simply because people use stuff like chewing gums, and then they will put it, after chewing gum, so the flavor and all of that, they will gum the areas, the chairs and some other things with different gums and all of that. And it became a law that, okay, simple, if we are going to cost the costs of cleaning, because we must maintain a clean atmosphere at all times, buying chemicals and all of that, let's ban the chewing of gum. So if you're traveling to Singapore and chewing gum is in your bag, you will face the now. The reason why he did all of that was simply because he wanted to score a goal. He wanted to maintain a green nation, a nation that is clean. You see how people are building laws, regulations. There are a lot of them. If you are working in the civil servant in Singapore, you have to, when you are appearing for government meetings and all of that, you have to put on white, white and white. That is their official dressing. Why? They believe that they must speak across all levels against corruption, beginning from the public office. So if they at the public office is going to be bold to declare that this is a corruption or corrupt free country, then it has to also reflect down to what they wear. What they wear should signify what is in their heart. And again, they try as much as possible to reduce luxury for what is it called now, in the government office. But here in Nigeria, when there is a government occasion, if people attend 12 occasions, they sew 12 different attires for those 12 occasions in civil service. So you need to understand that building yourself is key. Let me give us the final point before I get into my first line. If you steal pencil in your primary school, it might be forgotten and all of that, but you can't run government office if you have one theft challenge, one theft record. You will never run in public offices. One theft, just one. As little as you stole pencil or you stole something in primary school, many years, you will not smell the government's the public office. So that is what the man did when he was trying to build a nation, and he began with himself. He started with himself. So tonight, class, you are welcome. My name is Lawrence Ogwejofor. I did all of that to just get us started so we can have a quality time tonight. It's going to be an exceptional time here, and my God, and we hope to have quite an amazing moment to.
Can't hear you, sir. Can't hear you, sir.
Sorry, I was muted. All right, so it is very important that we establish this so that we can all thrive. Now, building the nation within begins with self-discipline. That is where it begins with self-discipline. Having the understanding that I must be a disciplined driver who is seated in a disciplined seat and want to arrive at a destination that can promote and transfer discipline. So while we get into the discussion, you must acknowledge that nation building does not begin in government houses. Nation building does not begin in government houses. It begins in personal houses. And the clay to use in doing that building is called self, yourself. So instead of chasing government houses, can I be heard now? Feedback, please. Is my audio okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's okay, sir.
All right. So instead of you're looking for a political party, you're looking for an office to join, even in your different places, because the society has about seven sphere. I have taught us again and again how that the entire societal engagement is divided into seven areas, and you belong to one, two, or three of those areas. In your different sphere of societal influence, you are currently building a nation. But the weight at which your building is being done depends on who you are, depends on who you are, depends on who you are, depends on who you are. Those of you in the religious space, you will agree with me that it is who you are that contributes to the impact of whatever it is you are building. It is obvious in the religious space because it looks like that particular space have of um quite a number of what is it called now, accountability. The system requires a lot of accountability. So because of that, you find people who are very serious with what they are doing. So I want to call us into understanding that nation building does not begin with government houses. Take away your eyes from our government. All right. What I mean by that is we have to hold them accountable, but let us not also think that it is given to them alone to build a government or to build a nation. You hear young people passing blames, calling president this, calling senator this, calling governor this, trying to make it look like we are down because of the governance of the country. That is not entirely true. We are down because of our individualism in respect to discipline. We have not been able to build that personal disciplinary system that can give us the strength to build in our different places. Some of you can't even read. Something comes to your mind, but you can't even read it. So how do you think you can lead an institution? If you can't lead your thoughts, you will never be able to lead an institution. So nation building does not begin with government houses. It begins in personal houses. If my family, your family, our family are all built, you will discover that the nation will eventually be a good and a safe place to be. Every criminal you see today came from a home. Every drug addict came from a home. Every vandal, I really don't want to use some very harsh words, but anybody who is vice driven came from a home. So we must be that serious in ensuring that we build our individual houses ourselves. It begins with ourselves, right? And then family and society, then all of that. Trying to discuss nation building. What is nation building? Nation building is the process of constructing or structuring a national identity using the power of human capital. That is nation building. The process of constructing, the process of constructing, the process of structuring a national identity using the power of human capital. What is our national identity? Because if you are going to be part of building the nation, you must understand the national identity. If I want to ask us this question, I hope you know the national identity. If you look at the formal national anthem, all of our national symbols are our national identity. You know our national symbols? Nigerian national symbol. You should know that, right? So if you look at our national symbol, first of all, the first in the national symbol is the Nigerian flag, which is green and white, right? So green is agriculture and natural wealth. So if you are going to be building yourself, for instance, understanding the national symbol, what you must embrace is natural wealth. Knowing that aiming as a scammer, you want to scam people so that you can make money. You want to sleep around so that you can make money. You want to cheat and deceive people so you can make money. Is not should not be part of your value system, because it begins with building yourself, remember. So if you want to embrace national value, just drawing a light or a knowledge from the national flag, how do you apply it? You must be a hardworking citizen or hardworking individual who understands the place of making natural wealth. And how does natural wealth come? Natural wealth comes by applying services, giving out services and solving problems that are obvious, that are needed, and that are visible within the civilization. Somebody said Yahoo internet scam is a job. I usually ask, so what service are you providing? What problem are you solving? What value are you exchanging? So look at what is making you wealthy now. Does it point to a value system that is consistent with this symbol? If no, then you need to take a break. You need to hold on, don't be on the fast lane, and redefine your financial source so you can be part of an individual that builds the society and not break it. Right now, parents are even approving internet fraud for their children. I hope you know that's the nation we are in. We are in a nation where parents are asking their children that thing that they are doing in internet. Why are you not doing it? That thing that they say and they are pressing laptop to make money. Why are you not pressing? What's going on? Why are you not doing it? So the error is simply embedded in the fact that we have not come to embrace our nation symbol. What about white in our Nigerian flag? When we talk about white, what do we mean? Peace and unity. Personally, as an individual, what's your concept about peace? Live, even if you are not a Christian. If you're a Christian, you know you are under the obligation to follow peace with all men, right? Follow peace with all men. But even if you don't even live in the Christian value, but the fact that you live in a nation that understand, that have peace and unity as a value system, are you standing on that value in your personal life? If no, then you need to start building that part of you. If you go to any place and you see discord, are you promoting discord, disagreement, and quarrel, or are you trying to promote peace and unity within that space? So these are some of the things that you need to look onto, because we are discussing a nation building as the process of constructing, or the process of structuring national identity using the power of human capital. You are the human. I am the human. It is the both of us that makes the nation. Infrastructure alone does not make the nation. The first thing that makes a nation is the people before the infrastructure and other parts of nation building, policies and other things. So we must link this building. I just gave us one example using the national flag. Another thing is the coat of arm. I'm sure you know about the coat of arm, how that the coat of arm has components of black shield. Maybe later you study that. That black shield talks about Nigerian fertile soil, right? It has a silver Y shape, that wavy band, that's Y shape, and that is the rivers, Niger River and Benue River, the meeting point of those two rivers, connecting states and all of that. It has about two white horses, which horses signifies dignity. You have to be a person of dignity. If you're a Nigerian, you want to build Nigeria and you don't like work, you can't do it, because here it is dignity of labor. You see any small thing, you say it's stressful. Any small thing, you say this is too much work, is a load and all of that. Well, you are not going to really contribute to nation building, because in this part of the world, first, as individuals, we need to be hardworking. We need to do what we put our mind to do, right? That is part of the call if you are going to be a person of dignity. Black horse. We also have this red eagle. I'm sure you know red eagle is known for two things. Number one is strength. Number two is pride. Strength and pride. It's part of the build up, the value of the African man or the Nigerian man. We also have this ground of cactus. Yes, cactus. That is a flower. Okay, and that is Nigerian national flower. It signifies beauty. And underneath, you see the motto. The motto is unity and faith, peace and progress. So these are some of the things that we need to understand. And that is why I am trying to link up nation building to individual. You are a brick in the structure of the nation. You are a brick in the structure of the nation. Let me make bold to say, if you're a pastor in my class tonight and your church is not building a nation, you are irresponsible. I make bold to say it. I make bold to say it because I've studied my Bible cover to cover, right? And part of the things I saw there is that God was interested in nation building. He was building a nation, Israel. Why? So that Israel can represent what the entirety of his kingdom is. So if all you do is to shout on people, pray, fast, and you are not converting your prayer and fasting into developing a nation, you are joking. You are wasting God's resources. You are wasting the time of people. And if you belong to a church here, your church does not train you on how to become one who is intentional in contributing to the society, you are also not serious with your life. Don't be a religious person. You must learn to sit up. God is a nation builder. What he was interested from day one till Revelation was building nations. Angels don't build cities. God does not build cities. Everything he does it through man. So while you are serious with your spiritual life, please convert that spiritualism or spirituality into contributing to your society. What we are doing is not church, but this is part of nation building. This is our contribution to building the human capital that will in turn build a nation. So you can build a nation you can't build a nation with broken people. You can't build a nation with broken people. The moment you are a broken individual, you can't be part of nation building. The first thing is to be correct. The first thing is to heal. Some of you went into things that are not right because they did it to you. One of my friends for many years, he held on saying that he's going to be a terrible scammer. I met him when I was learning ethical hacking. So I was asking him what was his intention, and he told me he's going to be a terrible scammer. I asked him why. He was giving me stories of how he met scammers on the internet, and everyone scammer he met scammed him because he was very quick to trust and very open with people. And that experience for him made him hardened and tough and want to reciprocate what he received at a time. Why am I sharing this? Most of us are broken because of our experiences, our encounter, and different things that happened to us in the past. But I've come this night to please inform you that you can't build a nation with broken people. The moment you notice that you have a fraction somewhere, it's time to heal. Also, part of broken people is that you are undeveloped. You can't build a nation with an undeveloped people. So why I get into that tonight, I want to show us that leading yourself with intention, with discipline, with vision and responsibility is where the core of nation building. Yes. And this is where I am going to really spend time to show us a very, very important part of our conversation tonight. It is the foundation for influence, leading yourself, not people. We are quick to enter leadership frame, people. No, it's not people first, it's yourself. right? Is yourself. And if you're going to be doing that, then you must understand that um, your intention, discipline, vision, and responsibility all have to be married together. So let's explore the four pillars of personal leadership. Pillar number one is self awareness. Self awareness. Are you aware of yourself? Are you aware of yourself? Do you know you? What are your values? What are your vision? And what are your strengths? Have you taken your time to discover who you are? If you are in class tonight, do you know who you are? Do you know you? Because most of us are what society says we are. Some of us are what our background says we are. Some of us are what our upbringing said we are. Some of us are what our mind is even telling us now that we are. Some of us are what our inabilities said we are. Self awareness. If your name was removed, what would your life still stand for? That they say you are no name. Because for some of us, you are your name. And apart from your name, there is nothing else. There is nothing else. And that's not right. That's not God's system. That is not how it should be. So, are you self aware? What do you know about yourself? So, let me give us a self awareness question. I wish I can be doing this and pasting it on the chat, but I doubt. I doubt if I can paste it. Okay, maybe after the class, I will do that. So I don't break the flow. But you need to be aware of who you are. You need to know yourself. Know yourself. Now, if you are writing, can you write this? It will help you. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. It's said by Aristotle many years ago. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. So if you want to answer the question, one of them is, how would you describe yourself? 3 words. How would you describe yourself in 3 words? If you want to describe yourself in 3 words, how would you? Is something we must engage. Number two is, what are your top 3 personal strengths? What are your top 3 personal strengths? You need to also engage to find out that. Number three is, what are 2 areas in your life you had like to improve and grow in? Number four is, what situations make you feel most confident? It's going to point you to your strength. It's going to point you to who you are. And number five, what situations trigger stress, frustration, or fear in you? I'm going to drop for us on the platform the questionnaire, and that questionnaire is going to help you get aware. Just get to discover yourself. It's going to be on the on the Telegram channel after the class tonight. I'm going to drop it so that we all can respond to it. Who are you? Make sure you know who you are. And if you discover who you are, build your life around who you are. And that will help you in building a nation, because your building begins with you. Number two, self-discipline. Self-discipline talks about habit, time management, and emotional control. Ability to discipline yourself. Ability to discipline yourself. Most of us, this is the biggest challenge we have, that we can't say, this is what I want to do, and stay to see it done. Right? Discipline. Discipline is the bridge between goal and accomplishment. That was said by Jim Rohn many years ago. Discipline is the goal is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. So how often do you follow your daily schedule and routine? Is a mark of discipline. Is a mark of discipline. So if we want to do understanding discipline, you must understand that discipline is one requirement that you can't underplay if you are talking about building yourself and building a nation. Do you know the gross misconception about leadership in Nigeria is in indiscipline? Indiscipline. Leaders are the ones promoting the things they are pushing policies for. So self-discipline, if I want to define, is the ability to control your impulses, emotions, desires, and behaviors to achieve long-term goals. I'll come again. Self-discipline is the ability to control your impulses, your emotions, your desires, and your behaviors to achieve a long-term goal. It means doing what you should do, even when you don't feel like doing it. Doing what you should do, even when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline is saying yes to purpose. Discipline is saying no to distraction. Yes to purpose, no to distraction. Some of the key elements of discipline is number one is self-control, resisting immediate temptation to favor in favor of future reward. That is discipline, self-control, resisting immediate temptation. Do this now, and you know what it's asking you to do is not needed in the future, and it's going to distract your present and thereby elongate your future reward. Another key element of discipline is consistency. Consistency. Consistency is doing the right thing over and over again. That's consistency. Most of us we are not consistent. So we do today and tomorrow we just don't feel like doing, and it becomes a very big problem. When we talk about discipline, another key element is delayed gratification, choosing long-term goals over short-term pleasure. Doing this short-term will give you pleasure and satisfaction, but not doing it because of this long-term goal is better. That's delayed gratification. You have some money in your hand. Keeping it aside for the future is better than just spending it on your desires. You have some money, using it to purchase a book is better than using it to subscribe your phone. Some of you say, but I want to attend UNI-LIFE Masterclass. Well, it depends on what that usage is for. That's the balance. But you must understand that times you need to delay gratification. Try as much as possible to stretch. Say no to that immediate whatever for that is discipline. Number four is focus. Focus is prioritizing what's it called now? What matters and avoiding distraction. That is focus. And then personal responsibility is also discipline. Taking personal responsibility. That is owning your actions and your outcome. Owning your actions and your outcome. And you know why self-discipline is very important. It helps you achieve your goal faster. So if you are a disciplined individual, your goals are achieved faster. It helps you build mental strength and resilience. You see, this is one of my strongest reward for being disciplined. Mental strength, capacity to retain what is in your heart, regardless of positions. Discipline also encourages time management and productivity. It makes you more productive. I was thinking about productivity today and something came to my mind. Have you noticed the production plants where things are in systems? This immediately you are done with this, it is automated. It just move to the next, don't move to the next until it's packaged and put in the carton. Then The workers just remove it from there. Automated system. That is what our lives must be if we are building discipline. Part of the reason why time management is people's issue is because they don't run their life on automated mode. Automated mode. This is this, after this is this, after this is this, after this is this. And you know it. It helps you keep going. All right. So if we want to use motivation and discipline, you know that motivation comes and go, but discipline is steady and consistent. What points tonight? You can't lead others until you can lead your appetites. You can't lead others until you can lead your appetites. Sometimes you have to overstretch. Don't be a motivational individual who the more you are motivated, you do it. When you are not motivated, you fold your hands. You can't be a nation builder that way. Motivation comes and go, but discipline is steady and consistent. Motivation is based on feeling, but discipline is based on value and purpose. Motivation is very good for starting, but discipline is essential in finishing. So, guys, if you must begin your journey of nation building, then you must be a disciplined individual. Until that has happened, you are still playing around the fence. Number 3, self-governance. Self-governance. You must understand self-governance. This is also where your journey begins from. This is also where your journey begins from. Because most times we want to build nations, but we can't even govern ourselves. And it's a problem. It's a very big problem. Taking full responsibility for your decision. That is self-governance. So if you want me to define, I will say that self-governance is the ability of an individual to take responsibility for their actions and make sound decisions and manage themselves. That's self-governance. That's self-governance. Ability to manage yourself, ability to make the right decisions, ability to be responsible for your actions, ability to govern your thoughts, your decisions, your actions. When I say that someone is self-governed, what do I mean? That setting your own rules and living by your values and holding yourself accountable is your lifestyle. A self-governed person is one who sets their own rules, live by their own values, and hold themselves accountable. Self-governance is about internal leadership, not just reacting to rules or supervision. If you notice me very well, I don't enjoy leading by rules, regulation, and supervision because I believe that anybody who is interested in growth and development must embrace self-governance. The power of internal accountability versus external policing. If you wait for people to police you before you get things done, you are not correct. You are not building well. So while we discuss tonight a case on building the nation within, self-governance must be something that is within us because that is the third pillar of self-leadership, self-governance. Self-governance. And part of what self-governance does is that it helps you become self-aware. You understand your thoughts, you understand your feelings, and then you understand your behavior because you have learned to govern yourself. Also, self-governance helps you become self-disciplined. It helps you become self-disciplined, taking ownership of your choices or regulating your action. It even helps you become responsible, doing what you need to be done without being told. That's self-governance. You know what you should do without being told. That's self-governance. Why self-governance matters? A lot of reasons. But let me mention 3. Number 1, it develops strong personal leadership. Yes, self-governance helps you develop strong personal leadership. Do you know, I like it when you just know what you should do instead of being instructed, chased about, you know, follow you like they're following one baby up and all of that. So you develop strong personal leadership, self-governance. Self-governance also help you build independent thinking. What is independent thinking? You are thinking ahead. You know that, well, this is my responsibility. Nobody needs to come and tell me. Independent thinking. You know that so time you should be able to have this and that and that. And you start early to plan for it. Independent thinking. You know that it is your responsibility to contribute to your immediate environment. And the moment you see a younger person who is not doing what they should do, you call their attention towards it. Independent thinking. It helps you build independent thinking. And number three, self-governance also prepares you for civic and national responsibility. Yes, when you can govern yourself, it is easier to bear civic and national responsibility. As a matter of fact, you become an individual that can contribute to your immediate environment. And finally, the fourth is self-development. The fourth pillar is self-development. When you talk about self-leadership and building your nation, the nation within you, we are talking about self-development. Self-development is lifelong learning and intentional growth. Lifelong learning and intentional growth. You are saying that, well, I don't stop learning. That is what self-development is saying. I don't stop learning. I read daily. I write daily. I do these certain things daily. For instance, your GPR, you keep at it daily. It's self-development. So lifelong learning is the ongoing, voluntary and self-motivated pursuit of knowledge. It's beyond school or formal education. Yeah, it's about being a student of life, continuously seeking to grow in wisdom, in skill, and in capacity. Learning. And I need you to know that learning is not a phrase, learning is a lifestyle. Learning is not a phrase. Say, I am learning, I am learning. No, it's not a phrase, it's a lifestyle. Intentional growth means growing on purpose. You know that this is the area I want to grow in, and then you are growing in that area. Setting out with clarity, with this direction, and with consistency to become a better version of yourself. That is intentional growth. It is not accident. It is not even automatic. It is deliberate, it is strategic, and it is disciplined. So you don't grow by chance. You grow by choice. You grow by choice. You don't grow by chance. You grow by choice. I have chosen to be a ever growing individual. It's your choice. I choose to be ever growing. It's your choice. Nobody grow by chance. So when we are discussing building the nation within, these are some of the things. Now just imagine that all of our leaders, both political leaders, economics leaders, health leaders in the health sector, leaders in education sector, leaders in politics, leaders in business, leaders in entertainment, leaders in social. Imagine that all the leaders are these four things we discuss. Just imagine that you are like this. Because I know we are in progress, we are building, we are developing, we are exposing ourselves into becoming this. But just imagine that you're already this and what our world will look like. Just imagine that every one of the elites in Nigeria is this, and imagine what Nigeria will look like. Just imagine that all our pastors are this. Imagine what the church will look like. Imagine that all our imams are this. Imagine what the mosque will look like. Imagine that all the teenagers are this. Imagine what the teenage nation will look like. Imagine that all the youth are this. Just imagine what the youth nation will look like. Imagine that these four pillars are operational in the life of every one of us. Imagine what school of the essence will look like. Imagine that the leaders that governs your sphere of influence are these. Just imagine what that sphere will look like. So it is important that we wake up tonight with these four pillars. Number one, self-awareness. We must know ourselves. We must know exactly what our makeup is, what our vision is, what our values are, what our strengths are. We must know that. We must also know that to be self-disciplined, building habits, being in charge of your time, and taking control of your emotion is key. And not living by motivation, but live on the strength of emotional control. Because you can't lead others until you can lead your appetite. And just imagine that we understand self-governance, knowing that we are the one who should take full responsibility for our decisions. We are the one who should take full responsibility for our actions. Nobody should start policing us around. We should be internally responsible to everything that happens in and around us. And then self-development. Every one of us, we are on the go to developing ourselves every now and again. You build a nation by building your mind, by building your skills, and by building your capacity. What are the links? Nation building, governance. A nation is a collection of people. That's the first thing. The link to nation building. What link? Being a person who is developed or who is developing into building a nation. What is the link? Number one is self-governance. A nation is a collection of people. We can't build a nation if we have not built a people, right? So if individuals are underdeveloped, the nation cannot rise. And that is what Nigeria is seeing right now as a nation, as a country. The people are underdeveloped. When you go to Motor Park, it looks like everybody there is just a lord of their own. When you go to schools, it looks like everybody is the lord of their own. Nobody is willing to take responsibility to just being a civil citizen. And then the strength of a nation is in the strength of its people. If we don't have strength as a people, the nation is not strong. Do you know? Okay, it's on record. I won't say that here, but it's very important that we have this understanding. Self-governance is key. We must learn to be in charge of our lives. We must govern ourselves. We must be in charge. We must be in control. We must take our life back and hold it in our hands. Until that is done, we can't talk about nation building. Now, some of you are classroom teachers. You are promoting malpractice. Are you building the nation or you are destroying it? Some of you, you are in homes where you observe the way things are being done and things are not done the right way. You keep quiet. Say, I want to mind my business. Are you building a nation or you are destroying it? Poor strength, no strength, no strength, no strength, no strength is an issue as an individual. So I want to call our attention tonight that self-governance is key. Please, I beg you, if you have not taken the matter of self-governance serious, start looking at it. Look at examples of men that build their nation through personal leadership. One of them is the man I love so much, Nelson Mandela. You know, in School of the Essence, if you do Emerging Leadership course, those of you who have done Emerging Leadership course, we saw the movie. What's the name of that movie again? The Nelson Mandela movie.
Invictus, sir.
Not ever. Eventus. Thank you. We saw the movie Eventus, and Eventus showed us, straight to us, the life of Nelson Mandela. We are going to start, I think we'll do Emerging Leadership course in July. If the registration link is out, do well to register for that course. It will change your life forever. All right. But for the memory, Nelson Mandela, even though he was in prison, yet he was not imprisoned. He was not imprisoned in his mind. His mindset was still focused on the goal. And that is what gave him victory. You see, today nobody is willing to sacrifice anything for your nation. Even your food, you can't sacrifice your food. So when election comes and they give you rice to cast a vote against your will, you will collect rice, 10 kg of rice. They will give a citizen to keep the citizen against their will, and they will collect for 8 years. What type of life is that? They are sharing 5K and you collect 5K and vote against your will. You know your excuse. They already know the winner. All this one they are doing. Who told you? If they already know the winner, do you think that they will come out to give you money so you can vote otherwise? No. It's because that your voting is part of establishing the winner. But appetite will not allow us to do the right thing. So Nelson Mandela was a man. Nelson Mandela was a man who stood and ensured that South Africa is indeed a country who a country that should enjoy what is theirs. He fought for freedom. He fought for justice. He fought for equity, especially against the system of the apartheid. He fought against that system. It's a legal and social policy of racial segregation and discrimination. The apartheid. He fought against those guys. He fought, I think, in 1948 to 1994. The apartheid was in charge. That system is a very terrible system. White minority controlled the rights, the lands, the opportunities of the black majority. That is what that system is all about. So when he came, he fought it. Freedom and human rights was restored. He believed in freedom of speech. He believed in freedom of movement. He believed in equal treatment under the law. So his activism led for his imprisonment for I think about 27 years. But you know what? He never gave up because he wants to see South Africa free. That is what it is to be a man who is built inside. That the heat you are going through is not even shaking you whatsoever. Your mind is fixed at what your life must become. First, to the one who has created it and to the people it was created for. I hope you know you are not created for yourself. You are first created for a people by someone. So the first is the one who created you. His interest must be in view. The second is the people you have been created for, not yourself. But most of us, particularly those of us who are spiritual, you see God as number one, you see yourself as number two, and then you now see others as three. No, no. That is why when Jesus was there, he said, love your neighbor as you said, not love yourself as your neighbor. All right. So he fought for peace and reconciliation. After his release, he was released in 1990, right? Mandela chose peace over revenge. He never revenged. He never come back to say, where are all these white people? Let's put them back in the prison. If you watch Invictus, you even see them the day he was resuming office. People were packing, the whites, they were packing their stuff to leave because they thought that he was going to come after them, jail them, sack them, maltreat them. No, he never did that. He instead told them, well, he is open to work with anyone who wants to work with him. And he told them, I need your help. I need your help. That is what it is to be a man who has been built inside, right? So Mandela's famous quote was, I have fought against white domination and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and within equal opportunity. I love Nelson Mandela. I love him so much. He reminds me that it is important that a man should be built in the inside before he run about trying to establish something in the outside. The second person was the man I started with, Lee Kuan Yew. I really don't have time to do this for Lee Kuan Yew. Lee Kuan Yew, he led, I think, in 1923 to 2015. He was the first Prime Minister of Singapore from 1959 to 1990, and the architect of Singapore. That is the transformation from a poor colonial outpost into one of the world's most advanced economy was built by that man. One man, one man, one man. And his strategy from foundation for nation building is meritocracy over nepotism. He built a system where talent, not tribe or connection, determines leadership. Talent. If you start on here, you know. I mean, I don't care how connected we are. What I need is the talent. If you are good and we are connected, we are both great. But if we are good, if you are not very good and we are connected, you won't be seeing my face. Did you see that? So that is what leadership should be. Competence. So he worked on meritocracy. Meritocracy is that you get things by merit, and nepotism is that you get things by relational affiliation and all of that. So he fought meritocracy over nepotism. He also used rule of law. I said that, and zero tolerance for corruption. Kai, you can't run a clean government without tough laws and tough enforcement. That was what he believes in. He said that you can't run a clean government without tough wars and tough enforcement. So Singapore established strict anti-corruption laws and enforced them without favoritism. It doesn't matter who. At the time he was leaving the office, it was his son that took over. And his son did not take over because it was his son. His son has to pass through all electoral processes and won. That is the man who was the founding father of Singapore. So Singapore was he did multiracial harmony. What's multiracial harmony? With a diverse population. They have Chinese in Singapore, they have the Mali in Singapore, that is Malaysia people, they have Indian too in Singapore. So he promoted racial unity. He also promoted equal rights and also promoted national identity. So there was no favoritism like the Hausas are in power, like the Yorubas are in power, like the Igbos are in power. There was nothing like that. Everybody was treated equally by merit and all of that, right? So you can read more about Lee Kuan Yew much later, but his legacy was massive. His legacy was massive, and is something that you should I think you should see. One of his quotes I love so much is, I have spent my life, so much of it, building up the country. There is nothing more that I need to do. You see that? That is a man who is built in the inside to build a nation. And the third person is Martin Luther, um, very popular leader. Martin Luther. I'm sure you know of Martin Luther Jr. Martin Luther King is one great man. Personally, I love him for many things, for many things. Right? He was, I think, from 1929 to 19 excuse me, I hope I'm not mistaken, to 1968. Yeah, he was an African American pastor, an activist, and a visionary leader who became the face of the civil rights movement in the United States. So he fought for racial equality, he fought for justice, he fought for freedom, and he used non-violence and moral courage. That is one man I respect so much. See, guys, the truth is, the reason why I am exposing us to this light, oh, we're out of time. The reason why I'm exposing us to this light is so that you will see how that your life must transit from being lived for yourself to being lived for your nation. Yes, and nation building is not just in the government office. You must start building the nation from where you are. When you see hungry people in the streets, how do you respond? When you see ignorant people in the streets, how do you respond? When you see people who are dressed half naked and you know that these ones are younger than you are older than them, how do you respond? When you see things not going the way you should go around you, how do you respond? How do you respond with people? How do you respond? This is what nation building is all about. But you're not going to respond right if you are not built in your inside. What did this man fought for? He ended racial segregation. In the US, then they used to have human zoo where they put black people, and then it's common in Europe too, where they put black people and then they keep making mess of it. Voting rights for black Americans. He was the one that fought for it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have seen Barack Obama as the president of the US, but somebody fought and established freedom, rights for black Americans. He also fought for justice through non-violence, right? So he was the one he was inspired by Gandhi. I hope we know Mahatma Gandhi. Yes, Mahatma Gandhi inspired him so much. He believed in peaceful protest and all of that. And his philosophy was hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. That is his personal philosophy. So they first led themselves. That's my point. They first led themselves with discipline and, of course, with clarity. And that was how they were able to become exceptionally nation builders. This is the open reflection I want to leave you with. What does building the nation within mean to you personally? You have heard the training tonight. What does building the nation within, what does it mean to you personally? All right. I would have allowed a few contribution or question, but then for time's sake, I will just look for somewhere to cap, and then we'll go back to asking our question. What areas of your personal leadership need to work? You need to find out. So I want to invite you to do an assessment. Read more. Read more. Read more. Sorry, I want to invite you to do some commitments. Be committed to reading more. You must be committed to better time management. How do you become better time manager? Put your life on automation. There are some things that must be automated. It even happens to me. I notice that I function better when things are automated. But when they are not automated, it becomes a problem. Sometimes you just relax by the time you are catching your breath because none of us works 24 hours. That's the truth. But the things that we give our time to are things we can also control, but we are not in charge of. So by the time we want to now fall back to doing the things that we should have done or that we must have done or we must or should do, we discover that we don't have so much time. So you must also learn better time management strategy, like automate some things. Automate some things. And then number three, develop a personal growth plan. This is why you have your GPR. And some of you, GPR is a load for you, is a weight for you. Well, if you don't develop yourself, you can't build within. So you live with a sense of national responsibility. There is a quote in America I love so much. Don't ask what America will do for you. Ask what you will do for America. I want to say that in respect to our dear country, Nigeria. Don't ask for what Nigeria will do for you. Start asking, what will I do for Nigeria? All right. So if you must grow, GPR is a system that has been designed for your growth. And it's time to engage it like your life depends on it because your personal life, personal development depends on it. So you must have your GPR going. And those of you class understand what GPR is, please, you are going to ask question on the chat, this Telegram chat, and somebody will are going to help you. So I won't have time to run GPR so much, but I just want to say this. It is a personal development system designed to help individuals grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically through 9 intentional daily rituals. So it is a daily rhythm that nurtures human capital and unblock or unlock potentials, turning ordinary routines into transformative habits. So I want to call you into GPR. Make sure you embrace it. Among other things we have learned tonight, and those of you who are not doing your GPR again, please, I want to wake you up. It's a call tonight so that we can be developed individual, so we can build a nation together. Before I leave you, you must understand that before you build nations, build people. And this is what we are doing in School of the Essence. We are intentional with building people because in our quest to build people, we are sure that the nation will be built. You can't hear me this night and go back to still living the way you have been living. Less concerned about the nation, less concerned about the younger generation, less concerned about it. You are just concerned about the money you want to make. You are just concerned about no. Why you are also concerned about the money you want to make? Please be concerned with the next generation. So before you build people, you must build yourself. Build yourself. Personal leadership is the seed of national greatness. Personal leadership is the seed of national greatness. And if you can't govern your own thoughts and your own habits, then you can't govern institutions. There is no point trying to go to different schools, acquire different degrees so that you can be in different position. That is good. But there's no point pursuing that kind of a life if you can't govern your thoughts and your habits. You will end it up in that position like the people who are there currently that you are complaining about. So it's time to wake up. It's time to be on our feet. It's time to know that Nigeria has so much waiting. We are that people. We are that force that can build a nation again. I want to welcome you to becoming a nation builder, where you pay attention to the demands of having a country that we can call home. Welcome, nation builder. The world is waiting for us. And without doubt, without fear, without any form of wavering heart, I am so sure that all we need to do has been made available in our inside. All we need to do is also just to tap them. How do you tap them? Develop yourself. Make sure that you are consistently on the human capital development plan. And within a little time from now, we'll see you at the top where we don't have to argue because our aim is single. Thank you very much. It's a good time having this class tonight with us. I truly appreciate. We're going to be getting into our questions if there are, and other engagements, contributions if there are, so we can close for tonight. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Over to you, please, admin. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. That is a beautiful and a wonderful one. I hope you learned something. I hope you learned something. No, I told you that tonight is very special and tonight is very intentional. Thank you so much. Personal leadership is the seed to national development. If you don't hear that, let me repeat that again. Personal leadership is the seed to national development. If you can't govern your own thought, your habit, your time, you can't govern a nation. Okay? I believe that a seed has been planted in every one of you here. Hmm. Don't go and bury that seed. It's time to trade it, water it, so that it can germinate. Okay? Very, very important. Tonight, it has been um overwhelming. There's no much time I could have given room for us to share what we learned tonight and our take homes. Please, before after this call, kindly r- drop on the group what you learned in tonight's class and your take homes. Very, very important. The reason for doing that is when you write it, that means you actually grab something. The thing was not the training for tonight was not entering in 1 year and going moving from the other. So at least it is being retained. Okay, we want to see that in the chat box. And please, if you are here, just like our mentor have said, and you have not started practicing the GP system, I want to call you to start doing that, or peradventure you are doing that and all of along the line you slipped off. There's always room again. Consistency. I keep saying it, the old you need to die for the new you to emerge. And you can start that by being the best version of yourself. But excellence starting today. Very, very important. So this is building the nation within. Begin with self leadership. I believe that every equipment you need to deploy after tonight has been given to you. So what you do with it is what's going to count. Knowledge is power, but what really matters is what you do with the power the knowledge gives you. Okay, is what you do with it. So I implore all of you to put in the action, and trust me, in the next 3 months, before the end of the year, when you look backward, you'll be amazed of who you have become. So thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. Next week we are also meeting our UNI-LIFE Masterclass take commence. Please tell your friends, tell your families, and tell your enemies too about UNI-LIFE Masterclass, because if your enemies know about UNI-LIFE Masterclass, they'll become friends with you again. So it's very, very important. So tell everyone about UNI-LIFE Masterclass and start building the nation. You first. You first. You can't give what you don't have. You can't change the world without first of all changing yourself. So when you start building it, then you start able to can be able to detect people around you who actually who you are being sent to lead. It can be your place of education, your place of work, um, the sphere you function on, your calling, everything, your ministry, that place. You have been sent there for a reason and for a purpose. So in able to maximize that, first of all, build yourself. Okay, thank you all so much for attending tonight's class. We look forward to next week. But before that next week, make sure you put into work what you learned today. Very important. Be a doers of the word, not the hearers only. There's a reason why James said that. He actually talking to Nigerians. Be a doers of the word, not hearers only. So I am also telling you that scripture now. Be a doers of the word, not hearers only. So see you all next week. If you have any question, please feel free to drop it in the chat group. It's going to be attempted. Thank you all so much. And on behalf of the School of the Essence managerial team, we want to say we love you specially. We care for your development and who you need to become in able to take the nation, in able to build the nations. So before we call it the night, we're going to be taking our GPR daily affirmation. So, over to you, sir, because it's just 10 minutes. Let me see it.
All right, thank you very much. I want every one of us to unmute. We're going to be doing that together. Provided your background is not noisy, mute as part of our engagement. We are going to be affirming this together while we shut down for tonight. Also, I'm going to be dropping the self-discipline questionnaire, right? I'll drop the self-discipline questionnaire so that we can all attempt it. Attempt it, please. It will help you. You will get to discover some things about you that needs to be worked on, and those other ones that need you to take out, like take care of. All right, thank you very much. So I believe we're muted now. Can we go? Want to go? You speak this aloud tonight and every now and then. Speak aloud. All right, can we go? Want to go? I awaken each day with purpose and clarity. I am deeply rooted in prayer and guided by divine wisdom. My mind is renewed and strengthened through what I read. I organize my goals and actions with intention and excellence. I visualize a vibrant future and take daily steps towards it. My body energizes. Treat it with care and joy. I speak life into myself. I am enough. I am growing. I am ready. Meditate on truth and walk in calm confidence. Each day, I show kindness that sparks transformation in others. Thank you very much, dear people. Have a good night rest. On behalf of the management team, on behalf of the incubator team and the team of directors, truly appreciate your efforts to become 1% better. And just in case you have questions, please, you can use the Telegram or the WhatsApp community for asking questions and it's going to be attended to. Again, the questionnaire will be dropped tonight. Make sure you attempt it. And before you go to bed, drop a lesson on the platform, the Telegram platform, then copy it and paste it on the WhatsApp platform. Drop your lesson. Thank you very much. My name is Lawrence Ogwejofo, and we are signing out. God bless you. Bye for now.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, people.